Welcome everybody out to Utah in the Weeds. This is Tim Pickett, and this is episode 94. 94 with my youngest sister, Michelle. So Michelle is 38 years old. She is going through chemotherapy for the third time for colon cancer. She has colon cancer that came back not once, but twice. And she's got 4 children. She is a Spitfire, okay? And I don't get the chance to see her very often. And with her chemotherapy causing a lot of nausea and her pain getting a little worse, I was able to go up to see her and visit her. And we recorded the interview and kind of just me teaching her how to use cannabis, because I thought that would be interesting for people if you're interested in that, and give me a chance to kind of interview my sister without causing a lot of emotional stress, on both of us. Frankly, I'm a crybaby, so I didn't think interviewing my sister was going to work out really well for me. And my sister also is a go-getter. She does not like to slow down. When we were there, for example, she picked me up from the airport. We went to Costco, bought a bunch of strawberries and candy. Yes, she loves candy. And went to lunch, went home, unloaded everything. She started making strawberry jam because she was out, needed to make some. Proceeded to make 15 bottles of strawberry jam, do this interview and learn about cannabis. Then we were going to dinner. It's just busy. She nonstop taking care of her kids, building Nerf gun, battle, setups in the backyard, traveling with her husband. So, interviewing that interview, I'd like to do it, but it would be very difficult for, this situation, I think. So here is an interview with my sister, Michelle. A little housekeeping before we get into that interview. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. Utah in the Weeds. We appreciate the subscriptions and the downloads, and it makes a difference. We have a subsidy program, utahmarijuana.org/uplift. You can donate money. We match it. We have it matched now 8 times, and that gets people through the process of getting cards and getting education and getting discounts on products in Utah. So utahmarijuana.org/uplift. Without further delay, here's me teaching my sister Michelle how to use cannabis for nausea and pain. So I'm up here, a little insight into what we're doing today. One day maybe we'll post this for the Utah in the Weeds podcast, maybe not. Depends, but I've come up here to my sister Michelle's house. A little insight into the why you get into cannabis medicine. My sister Missy. Okay, so here we have, so you're doing chemo, right?
Yes.
For the third time.
Second
it's
time.
really the third time, right? Because you had the high pack.
That's true. That was internal chemo. So yes, this is the third time, but 4th time I've had cancer because radiation.
What was the first time?
First time was my colon.
Well, that was when you were 32.
Yep.
Right? 6 years ago.
Yep.
About right now, right? Like 6 years ago, you got diagnosed in December?
Nope. After I had scarlet in March.
Oh, so 6 years ago, right now.
Yep. 6 years ago, right now, I got diagnosed and had chemotherapy for 6 months. And then 18 months later, it came back in my ovaries and my uterus. So I had that removed, but it erupted. So that's when I did the high peg.
That's when I was working in surgery with Aiken.
Yep.
I remember thinking, oh my God, the high pec, that's like a major deal.
Yeah.
So everybody was researching it. That's a big surgery where they open you up all the way top to bottom. They fill you with chemotherapy fluid and try to kill it all.
Yep, it's heated chemo.
What do you think about that now? Do you think that was a good thing?
I think that saved a lot of my life. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think so too. This time, though, you had a bowel obstruction last, October?
October.
No,
but
it was. It was
that,
before that because November
radiation.
we went to Disneyland. So it was like August.
That's true. I did have a bowel obstruction and I went into the hospital twice in 1 month, and they just did IV fluids and kind of did bowel rest because they didn't want to open me up. But then the third time I went into the emergency room, they were like, well, this obviously isn't healing itself. So my doctor that actually did the HIPEC also, he was like, we got to open you up and see what's going on. And so he opened me up and took out 4 inches of my colon. Or not my colon. I don't have colon.
No. And how do you figure out, like, what do they call it now? They can't call it colon cancer. You don't have a colon.
It's true, but they still do. Yes.
Because that's where it originated.
That is where it originated. So then
he took that piece out, which was obstructed.
Yeah.
And that was like a ball of scar tissue.
Yep. 2 balls of scar tissue they took out, and then they put the rest of my intestines in a hammock.
So now you have an intestine hammock. I have an intestine hammock. Does that feel different? Did it feel different at the beginning?
No.
For those of you who are listening, our mom is in the kitchen over here on the other side doing the dishes. Don't be sorry. It's fine, but that's the water you hear. We're in the kitchen in Spokane, and we just got back. So I came up here to see you, really. But also, I'm using cannabis as an excuse to come up here and see you, to give you a little bit of a lesson on some tools and cannabis stuff, because this time the chemo seems like it's been worse.
Yes. Which they say after your body has already experienced it, it just reacts more potently, I guess, because your body's like, oh, I remember this.
And then, I remember that this is like poison.
Yeah.
So when we talked last week, you were not feeling very good.
No, I have a lot of nausea, and pretty much I sleep a lot during the chemo because I'm on for 3 days. Well, for 48 hours. I take home chemo, and that is when I'm the most sick.
So you don't have to go to an infusion center. They just bring it to you?
No, I do. I go in and I'm there for about 4 hours, and I do 2 kinds of chemo there.
Do you remember the names?
One of them is 5FU and FOLFOX.
FOLFOX, yep. The 5FU, the FOLFOX. That's this chemo that has been around for really a generation, I think, maybe probably more. I worked in GI surgery, and we didn't do the orders for the chemo, but we were we had a lot of people with colon cancer that would do that. And then you have a different one that you do also.
Take home. Yep. So you take, after the 4 hours, they give you a chemo that it's a fanny pack, and it puts 0.1 milligrams into your body every minute.
Through your PIC, not your PIC, but your port, which you've kept all 6 years.
Yep. Actually, this is my second port.
Oh, really?
I got my first port taken out.
Because you were cured.
Because I was cured. Yeah. And then when I went in for the HIPEC, they were like, well, since you're already under, we're going to put in another port. Yeah, and it never got used until now. So I've just been flushing it for the past 4 years.
4 years.
Yeah.
So you had cancer. Okay, so 6 years ago, you got diagnosed with colon cancer. You had the entire colon removed after having your baby. I mean, that was really a mess, right? Yes. You were on TPN for nutrition because you needed to continue the pregnancy for another couple of months. Then you had the baby. You're already obstructed with cancer. Then you heal from the baby. Then you have your colon removed completely. And by the way, for people who, so you have a ileostomy bag, right?
Yes.
Because you had a total colectomy with a proctectomy. Mm-hmm. So you have an ileostomy bag. For those of you who out there who think that living with a bag is like death, I mean, you are really listening to a person who swims with her kids, goes water skiing.
Skis, it's, I would recommend it actually to people that are,
Like, well, it's
it
not
changes
like
your life. Because then all of a sudden you're not at Target going, oh, I know where the bathroom is. Oh, I know where the bathroom is. Every place you go when you have Crohn's disease, you know exactly where every bathroom is. I mean, if you've ever pooped on the side of the road, I have. But now with the bag, you just,
so it's not the end of the world, right?
no, it is not.
It's
the end of the
interesting.
world.
Your perspective on things has always been pretty interesting, and you've always been extremely active. I mean, literally, you have a bowel obstruction. You have part of your colon taken out last fall, even, and then we go like you barely let yourself recover before you went to California.
Yes.
Hiked up and down all those stairs. I remember your husband, John, he's like worried because we had all these stairs going down to the beach.
Oh, yes. And he was like, you better be careful. Hold on to this side. And I'm like, I'm fine. Whatever. Yeah.
Right.
Well,
Having
and after
Nerf
the
gun
high peg,
parties in the backyard.
after the high peg, I went to Hawaii with my kids a month and a half later. I told him, I said, I got to get out of the hospital because I have Hawaii tickets.
Oh, wow.
And he's like, oh, well, okay. And he let me swim, and
Interesting.
I don't let it slow me down.
Well, that's for damn sure. Okay, so we're going to talk about, and this is going to be a lot of stuff that people can't see. But in front of me, laid out, we have just been to the dispensary in Spokane. We've been to Cinder. Great people there. Different products than in Utah. Some products that I've tried before that I really, really like and I wish were in Utah. And some products most products that are definitely not in Utah. So you've been using some little mints. Moxie mints, which are 1 milligram of THC and a little bit of CBD, but you were saying they're not like strong enough. But then when you take too much,
I feel like I'm on a roller coaster and I'm like, I can't close my eyes. I'm going to go down the hill. It's going to make me dizzy.
Oh, really? So when you stand up, is that a problem?
No, it's more when I close my eyes, actually.
Oh, when you close your eyes, you feel like you're on a roller coaster.
Yes.
But you've never smoked weed ever. Like, I mean, I've known you my whole life. I know you've never smoked weed.
No, I watered it when you guys were kids. Remember?
That was not mine. That was Katie's. That was Katie's on the porch or on the deck.
What are these plants?
You were little, though. Like, I mean, we're talking, Katie was in high school, right?
Yeah.
And so you were in junior high. You're 6 years younger than me.
Yep.
I'm 43, you're 38.
Yep.
Well, I mean, five and a half. You're exactly 5.5 years younger than me. Okay, so here we have a tincture. Okay. So the first thing we talk about is with this type of stuff is you've got to build up some tolerance. Okay. You can barely take 5 milligrams of THC and you got to build up some tolerance.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably, yes.
Because then you can take 2.5 milligrams as a micro dose most of the day and not feel like you're in a roller coaster when you close your eyes. So we're not going to try to, for those of you at home, we're not trying to cure cancer with this cannabis. We're just trying to feel better, but it's relatively safe. So we might as well, I mean, if you can get a lot of cannabinoids in your body and it slows the tumor growth, then why the heck not? So there are cannabinoids. We want to think about CBD. We want to get a bunch of CBD in your system. Okay. CBG. We want to get a bunch of CBG in your system. Then THC. We want to work up to where you can tolerate like 10, 15 milligrams of THC per dose. Okay. So that's like a whole gummy. So we have a tincture here. It's made by Green Revolution. It's a water-based tincture, which is cool because that means it's kind of emulsified in water, so it will absorb fast. It has, for 1 dropper full, it's going to have 12.5 milligrams of CBD and 2.5 milligrams of THC. This is actually going to be pretty dang good for, and it has a teeny bit of CBG. So this is good for all the time. half a dropper full at a time is the same as your Moxie Mint. Okay? Half a dropper full. That's not true. 1 dropper full is the same as your Moxie
red
Mint.
ones.
Yep, 1 dropper full. And it is, I don't know what flavor or what let's test it. So
does it taste like dirt?
it probably tastes like skunks and dirt. Take just a drop. Take it just a drop. We're not going to get high, just to taste it, just a drop.
Under my tongue or on top?
It doesn't matter because we're just tasting it. That's 1 drop. Thank you. Put the lid back on.
Oh, that's not too bad. It's lemony.
I mean, it's kind of lemony. So now a full dropper, you're going to, ooh, that's kind of in the back of my throat. It's kind of like, ooh.
Oh, yeah.
It's a little planty. You can mix this with stuff.
With a Big Mac?
You can mix this with a Big Mac.
Wait.
I know you love Big Macs.
My peanut butter
and jelly. Mom, Nana over there. So for those of you who are now listening, if you want a Christmas card with a cannabis flower on it or a marijuana gnome, that's Nana, Sock Monkey, everything. She's making strawberry jam.
We are not going to put any cannabis in.
Or no strawberry jam, no cannabis because the kids are coming home. So the marijuana gnomes and the cards are pretty popular. So not runny jam. Just regular good strawberry jam. Because at Michelle's house, they go through a bottle of jam. How often?
Every 2 weeks.
A bottle of strawberry jam every 2 weeks. And we just got home from Costco, where you literally bought like 6 bags of those dang, what are they?
The Reese's chocolate eggs.
Because why?
The eggs are fresh. Like the peanut butter is fresh. You know when you go and get a Reese's bar and you're like, oh, this is pretty stale. It's been here for 6 months. But those ones, like the hearts at Valentine's and the Easter ones, they're fresh and they're yummy.
First place we went when I show up on the airplane, we go from the airport to Costco. She goes in there. She shows her ID card. The eggs are at the front. She just starts loading the bags into the cart.
I think I got like 6 or 7.
Part.
Yeah.
Okay, tincture is a 5-to-1. You can take 1 dropper full at a time and not get like roller coaster. Okay.
Okay. That wasn't too bad.
It's not terrible. It's not terrible. Okay, we're moving on to, that's going to last you like 6 hours. Okay, so you can do that 3-4 times a day. That's fine. But you need to do something like that every single day to build up some tolerance. Okay?
Okay.
Like a half a dropper in the morning, every single morning, only to build up tolerance.
Okay.
And to get some CBD in your system, see?
Yeah.
Because the CBD will help overall. Okay, now we're going to move on to some gummies. In Utah, these are called gelatinous cubes. So Wild, W-Y-L-D, this is one of my favorite brands. They're totally natural. They're a peach. This one's a peach gummy. So why are they in a bag? This is kind of dumb. Hey, do you have any like...
It says a zipper.
Oh, so child-proof Ziploc bags. You put your hands and then you twist it. Yeah, because so when you open a gummy or a flower package
or a Moxie Mint, even they do now.
They have these little child-proof bags, and you can't open the bag just by pulling the bag open. You have to push your fingers on the opposite sides of the Ziploc, and then you twist it.
You're snapping your fingers.
Like you're snapping your fingers, and it will slide the Ziploc open, and it will open your bag.
I cut mine sometimes
everybody
too.
cuts them open. Huh? So inside here, all of these are individually wrapped. Oh. What a waste of plastic. They are 2-to-1 CBD to THC, but these are 10 milligrams per gummy. That is the same as 4 droppers full. 4 droppers full is the same as this. So now we're cutting these into quarters, right? Now this will last you 8 hours. This will last you 8 hours, and it takes a little longer to take effect. So you want to plan ahead. So cut these into quarters, and you take one of these is the same as a Moxie Mint. but they taste better, and they have 2 times the CBD. Again, because CBD is like the sandpaper to THC. It smooths out the rough edges. Okay? These are going to be super good. And I already...
Getting a marker.
Yeah. Can you write all this stuff down?
Yeah,
So
maybe.
you can make a list.
Because I can't remember my
You're
own
gonna make a
name
little-
sometimes.
Tincture is going to act in, I would say this one where it's water-based is probably going to act within 20, it's going to start acting within 20 to 45 minutes, where a gummy would take 45 minutes to an hour and a half to take full effect for most people. Some people with a gummy, it'll take 2+ hours. But the tinctures, the water-based tinctures tend to work a little faster. Oil-based tinctures tend to work a little slower. So the tinctures, again, half a dropper, 3 times a day, totally fine. 1 dropper is 2.5 milligrams THC. And
So it built up that one.
so build up. That's the one that you kind of are using to build up the tolerance. Then you have the peach gummy, which is pretty similar, but you only want to take a quarter of the gummy at a time.
And it lasts 8 hours.
It lasts 8 hours. Now, and it takes a long time to take effect. I'm going to put the gummies inside the medicine bag. Okay. I've got a medicine bag here. It's a Skunk Pilot bag. It has a little lock, little luggage lock. Kids don't get in it. Keeps all the medicine away from the kids. Do you want these
right
in the cute
now-
box?
No,
Or
it
do you
doesn't.
just want them
Yeah,
in
just right now I keep them with my dog treats.
Yes.
Because I'm hoping my kids don't eat dog treats.
So they
can't promise
won't. As a side note, if you want to protect your children from the gummies, just keep them with the dog treats.
Exactly. That's what I do.
Okay. Okay. Right? Well, I guess unless you want to give the gummies to the dogs. Okay, second one is the wild pear. This is kind of cool. This one I really like. It's got CBG and THC. Okay, so 1 to 1. So this is going to be different. This will feel different. People call this a bubble bath for your brain with the CBG. Same thing. You're going to cut this in quarters. You're going to cut this in quarters. And I think you're going to like these a lot for the daytime.
And do they last 8 hours?
Yes. This one, I would consider this one to be my pain gummy.
Okay.
My pain gummy during the day.
Your what?
The pain, because CBG tends to be a little bit better for pain. Right?
You trying to get rid of
Whereas
my
you had your
oxycodone?
right. Yeah, because the oxycodone, I mean, you don't have a colon, so like poop moves through faster.
Yes.
So the oxycodone does have a benefit because it slows you down.
Yeah.
And we're not really worried about you getting addicted at this point, right?
No.
But you don't take that very often.
No, I don't.
Because your right hip, your left knee, and what else was it?
My back.
Your back hurts. Is that new, starting chemo?
Yeah, my hip has always hurt. Just, I think from dance. But it's weird because it's not my knee that I tore my meniscus on. It's my other knee.
What about your back?
I think my back is because I sleep with my dogs.
Oh, and then you just don't sleep very well. Like your dogs are all over the place.
Yes, totally sleep on my back or my face.
Okay, so green is the CBG. That's
Okay, green.
pain. That's kind of the pain. We do that one for pain, right?
Yes.
The peach one is kind of a balance. Okay, that's good. Ooh, this is fun. This is kind of like Christmas. Okay, now we're going to move on. We're going to add this CBD tincture. Okay, CBD tincture. This is one I brought from home. It's a Zion medicinal CBD tincture. This one is a little bit pepperminty from the taste, and it's an oil-based tincture. And this one has, let me see, for a full dropper full is going to be like 30 milligrams CBD. So you want you really need to take one of these, at least 1 full dropper a day. This will not get you high at all. Okay?
Okay.
So I'm going to put a whole milliliter in the dropper full. put it in my mouth, and man, it is. I don't. I just eat it. Yeah, the under your tongue will absorb a little bit better, but honestly, I don't get too crazy about that. I'm much more practical. I feel like that's kind of, I don't know.
My Zofran, that's where they always like underneath. I'm like, yeah, I'm just sticking it on my tongue.
Chew it.
Yeah.
It absorbs pretty quick.
Well, in the roof of your mouth too. So like I just stick it to my roof.
Instead of up your nose, you put the cocaine under your tongue. Yeah, well, okay, thanks. Thank you. I've never really tried it, so I don't know. I mean, I know most people haven't tried that out, but yes, it would absorb faster. So try that. I feel like that's like a Starburst. It's oily. You don't. I mean, take a half a dropper. Promise it's not going to get you high.
Oh yeah, it's like oil.
It's like, well, yeah, it's MCT oil. It's which is kind of a coconut oil.
Yeah.
Thing. So see how it kind of coats your mouth a little bit?
That might be good for my mouth sores.
So you want to build up to where you're taking a dropper in the morning and a dropper in the afternoon. Doesn't have to be full. It just has to be I tell patients, like, just take a slug of it in the morning and a slug of it in the afternoon. Because we're building up cannabinoids in the system, okay? We're building up cannabinoids in the system. No high, okay? Could help your pain long term. It's a little bit anti-inflammatory. It could help it can help your anxiety, reduce the use of like a lorazepam if you took that. Okay, now we're getting into the real deal. And I know this is like out of the wheelhouse for you, but I brought up vape pen, okay? A vape pen. I brought some flour too. We'll talk about that in a minute. So this is called a battery. This is a Yocan Pro battery, and this is what you put the vaporizers in. Now, I brought up 2 clean leaf vape carts. These little cartridges will not get you high, okay? They won't get you high, but they're pretty damn strong, okay? Have you ever tried one of these, Mom?
Or vape.
Yeah, but this is CBD only. So this one is called Balance. Okay, you have one that's called Balance and one that's called Uplift.
What I would say is, why would I?
Why would I use a cartridge that would not get me high? Well, I'll tell you why.
Okay.
If you have a super low tolerance to THC, or you're trying to get off of a medication and you're just trying to chill out, or you get way too high from the gummy, and you're like, oh my God, I think I need to go to the ER. Like, I'm pretty anxious about this. Then you take a nice inhalation off of this vape pen, and it just kind of smooths out the rough edges of what's going on, okay?
Okay.
You're fighting with everybody, go in the garage, and you take a little hit off this thing.
So,
And you're like, not high. I just feel a little bit better. What are you doing?
what's that called? Can I have
This one's Balance, so I sell these in the clinic.
Okay.
Because Kyle Egbert is the guy who makes these, and he's a good guy. He knows what he's doing. He makes strong vape carts like this. They're non-THC. This one has CBN, CBG, it's like CBDV.
Yeah.
So what is the
CBD, CBG, CBC, CBN, CBDV, and THCV. This is all good. These are all like the best cannabinoids.
What's I have a vape pen, but
this one's just this one is a little bigger and the battery will last a little longer. So I use this one because it's like, it's foolproof.
Cute.
It's simple. It's gold. It's like, is that mauve?
Yeah.
What you
No,
call
it's
it?
rose gold.
Oh, rose gold. Okay, rose gold. So you twist on at the bottom of the vape cart. There's what's called a 510 thread. See that little thing? Think your neuropathic fingers can put this on there? Did you lose the ability to knit?
You know what? It actually, I can knit, but holding my hands closed for too long hurts. So I actually don't knit anymore.
Can you feel the ends of your fingers?
Yeah. If they get too cold or too hot, they hurt, like pain.
Your feet too?
Yes. My feet are more sensitive than my hands.
When did that happen?
After the first round of chemo, I did the oxyplatin, and that gives you neuropathy
Forever.
forever. It does, like, it got better after 6 months, but I don't like to get pedicures because I don't like people to touch my feet because you can feel them touching your feet, but it's a weird sensation.
And then does it like pins and needles?
Sometimes, yeah. Like, I always have to wear shoes.
Even in your house?
Even in my house.
Just because of the
feeling of it.
Is there like a burning?
Yeah.
Mostly a burning.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the hands too?
My hands aren't as bad, but I have to be careful because I can touch hot things and not know that I'm touching hot things.
And then you get burned.
Yes. So, like,
one time she stuck something in her leg and did not know it was bleeding.
Oh yeah, I did stick an X-Acto knife in my leg one time, and I was like, oh dang.
Oh wow.
And then it was bleeding at a baseball game, and they're like,
hey Michelle,
you're bleeding, and it was like bleeding into my shoe.
Wow. Okay. Well,
good thing I had a first aid kit in my car.
So this has been sitting for a little while. So you see how it's kind of crystallized?
Oh yeah.
So we may have to use like a blow dryer or something warm to
Really
go ahead.
Well,
yes, you're raising your hand.
If you, I know it won't work for you, but put it in your bra.
It will not work for me.
It won't work. But really, I put my vape carts if they're a little sticky.
Yeah, so the crystallization just is something that sometimes happens. And so you can heat it up and you can kind of reactivate the oil in there. So you turn the 510 thread onto there and then you just drop it in like that. And then it just magnetizes to the bottom. You can turn that if you want to lock it in. And then literally you just push this button and it's on and you let go and it's off. But 5 clicks turns it on and 5 clicks turns it off. Okay. 5 clicks turns it on. 5 clicks turns it off. I never turn it off, so I never really have to worry about this because it just kind of shuts off on its own.
Oh, cool.
And the battery will last like 3 weeks. And then you see the number on the screen there, it's 2.7.
Mm-hmm.
It will go up. So the higher the number, the harsher the inhalation. So you want it at about 3.0 is my, kind of low. Okay. And then you push the button.
Hey.
Do you have to hold it a long time?
No. Oh, total myth.
Really?
There is so much surface area in your lungs. You do not need to hold your breath. You just
even the THC.
Yeah, you do not. You do not do that. Okay, so all you're gonna do is
my whole life.
You're just gonna push this button. You're going to, I don't know who's calling you, but I'm sure it's not important. Maybe it is important. Okay, you're welcome to try this.
So wait,
this is not the one that gets you high, so you don't need to worry about that. Yeah, that's the CBD oil. It's good. Well, yeah, it looks the same in Utah.
Okay, one more time. You hold the button down.
Yep, you hold the button down and it's activated. And then you just, not big, just sip.
Wait,
so you sip
but you don't swallow.
No, but you're gonna. It's that's right. But you're thinking about it like sipping it. You're not gonna like suck it in. Okay, you're just kind of just a little bit.
I'm so gonna cough.
It's just a little. Okay, just push the button, just a little. I know it's kind of weird. Yep, now it's on. Now that's too much. Now, yeah, blow it. Oh my gosh! So you got it in your mouth. So that's good.
Did you get it in your lungs?
She didn't get it in her lungs, but that's okay.
So just make sure that you're breathing.
So that's like twice as much. That's like twice as much as you need.
So wait, you'll hold it less.
Yeah, so look. I'm inhaling. Then I'm exhaling.
Oh, because I can feel it in the back of my throat now.
Yeah, because you took it into your mouth, but you didn't let it get into your lungs. So you sucked on it, but you didn't inhale it. So, okay, just not as big.
Okay.
So, like, breathe in your belly, just a little.
This is like voice lessons.
This is like voice lessons.
Wait,
I know
push
this
your
is
belly
really crazy.
out. No.
See, you just did it. You breathe. Just put that to your mouth while you do that.
Like that?
Yeah, just do that. Don't just normal breathing. Just hold the button down. Pretty much. Okay, you're doing it. You're doing it pretty much. There you go. This is how you teach your sister how to smoke weed.
You can inhale a little bit more than that.
Yeah, but that's okay. We
It's normal
started,
breathing.
but it's normal breathing.
I gotta
Okay.
write that down.
2-second inhalation. 2-second inhalation. Okay.
Okay.
I mean, I tried smoking before. We're smokers, so like in the past. So like I take it into my mouth and then I inhale it. That's a smoker thing. That's what mom does.
That's what I do.
Because that's a smoker thing. I
Wait,
think.
let me see it again.
So just inhale it.
Oh, I can see that.
Yeah. I want to try. Okay, try it one more time. This is like the chill thing.
I do that. I didn't know that's fine.
I can totally feel that, like calming the situation. Yeah, perfect. You did it. Okay, no more. No more. You're gonna get too much CBD. Don't want you to get crazy on the CBD. Okay, so then no, but I mean, people say that CBD is not psychoactive, but it does calm people down,
so this
which
is
by
the chill.
definition is kind of psychoactive. So you have one that's called Uplift. Okay, that's going to be kind of energy.
Ooh, I need
daytime. So not high, just energy, nausea during the daytime. That's Uplift. Okay. And then you have the other one called
like
Balance.
Red Bull. That's what it should be called.
This
So you
black
don't-
one is called Red Bull.
So if you take it out of the package and you don't keep it in the package, you're not going to know which is which. So,
So
sometimes
the
I'll take it
black,
in
so just write
Mhm.
down black, daytime, white, I don't know,
the relaxation.
chill. Yeah. White is
In
chill.
the couch.
Into couch. Now, I have two more of these that are a little different. Okay. But we only have one 510 thread. That's the one drawback with these batteries. Just don't lose that
Okay.
because these things go together. So now I have powered by, it's a Zenergy Balance, THC and CBG. So remember the pair ones that we talked about with CBG?
Yes.
This is exactly the same thing, just a vaporized cartridge. This is pretty cool. I was really impressed with these, like the way they described it. So this one says Balance, Zenergy, Pain. Okay? Pain. Because that one's the CBG one. And they come with these little caps on them, which is fine if you want to put those back on and you put them in here. See, there's a little in the skunk bag, there's a little thing, and you can just kind of put them all in here. So Pain. Now, you inhale this one, you're getting high. Okay? But could be better for, like, if you're doing chemo day. If you're not doing chemo day, these might be great. And these might be great with this. I don't know. These are just, you just have to experiment with
Okay,
these.
so always put this on the
Yeah, so
bottom.
put that in. So screw that on. We'll give this one a try.
Probably keep one in the thing, and that way you'll never lose the battery.
Of course, yeah. You always want to keep one cartridge loaded in the battery.
Okay, and then you just drop it in?
Yep, drop it in.
It's
Then you
like
push the button, suck, inhale, and you're there. And see how the top of that one's round?
Yeah, that's fair.
So you can tell. Round, gonna get me a little high.
Oh, but the ones that are flat.
Well, this one's flat too, and it's gonna get you high if you try this one too. So all different.
Not necessarily.
It's not universal. I'm going to open this one. So that one is CBG. That one's going to be good for daytime and pain. This one is sativa, so daytime. So both of these vape cartridges are both daytime. So see, this one is very similar to the other one. Where did we put the other one? So see the black one? It kind of looks the same.
Mm. I have to label them. I'll just label those.
Yeah, label this one
I was
as
gonna say I do that.
daytime. This one's daytime, but this one has THC in it. Okay.
So the balanced energy is for pain.
Balance
That one
energy,
is
pain.
for-
This one is going to be, I mean, this is basically like, this is a THC vaporized cart, a sativa dominant vape cart.
So it's not a downer though.
It's not a downer. This is an upper, because you were saying you get really, really tired on
Yes.
that. And I know you tend not to want to be tired. Right? I know. So I didn't really buy, we didn't like buy a lot of tired downers.
No, I can, like, as soon as I hit the pillow, man,
You're out.
I'm out. Snoring.
So this
Apparently.
one,
2 seconds.
you may have to turn it up a couple of notches. Ooh, cotton candy. That tastes like cotton freaking candy.
Yummy. I like
Try
cotton
that.
candy.
It does, huh? So that's not a, I know. So that cloud right there you saw from her, that's way too much for you. Okay? Way too much. Her tolerance has been built up over months and years. Okay. So you can taste this. So taste this, but don't really inhale a lot. A little more than that. Oh my gosh.
You said little.
I know. And to your credit.
I can taste the cotton candy.
Yeah. So the one that tastes like cotton candy is the pain one. I'm glad you're taking notes. But it's THC. And then this one, let me just see what this one tastes like. These vape carts, they're just so convenient because they're not going to smell up your house.
Yeah.
And if you get too much, these are 1 to 2 hours of effect. These are not going to knock you out so you can't go pick up the kids. Like if you need to eat lunch and you're doing chemo and you just need to get rid of the nausea so you can have a little energy and get a little stuff done around here and eat lunch and then be sober to go pick up the kids, the vape cart is the answer, right? The gummy is going to last you a long time. So the gummies are good for microdosing throughout the day and the night, and then you can use these on top of the gummies.
Okay.
You can put your coat on if it's cold. Oh, you'll keep your house cold anyway.
Oh, it's just...
This one's really, I mean, this one tastes like weeds. It doesn't taste like cannabis, but it just tastes like grass. Okay, I'm going to leave the cotton candy one in, okay?
Yeah. Hello. Cotton candy's way better.
I know, because we're talking about the eggs, the sugar. This is going to be...
So the cotton candy is THC though. But
yeah, cotton candy is THC. So that's your battery.
This is why I haven't lost weight, see, because I eat my Moxie mints and then I eat all my candy eggs.
So that one I'm going to put in here. See, it's a silver bottom with a black top, THC. Black bottom, black top, only CBD. I'll put that in there. But you're fine.
Black.
You'll be fine. You can call me.
Well, and I'll label those later.
Okay. Charger. Okay. There's a charger for your battery. It just plugs into right there.
Okay.
Okay. Normal USB. Okay. And mostly you can just put that in your purse and then you're good. So, okay. So final thing. You don't have to use this, but you should have access to it. Flour. So I have 1/8 of flour. That's 3.5 grams of cannabis flour. And I have a Da Vinci IQ2. This is the top of the line medical grade dry herb vaporizer. This is an oven for weed that will bake it so that you can inhale the vapor, get all the magic, but you won't have the burning in your lungs. This is not smoking. Okay?
This is more vaping.
This is called vaping, but it is dry herb
dry.
vaping. It is not oil. Okay? It's the real flower. So inside the box is what's called a little straw. So I'll pull I'll pull this out.
You need to start packing.
Okay, so see, then this just flips over, and
That makes
now
more
it
sense.
looks like a joint or a vape
Right.
cartridge, right? It looks like that's the place you put your mouth. Same thing, you push this button 5 times.
And
I
it's
don't
all-
know who came up with 5.
I don't know, but
It's
they're all the
totally
same.
random. They're all the same 5 times. And on the front, on the IQ2, it will show you how
Cool.
much the battery is and what mode it is. So this is on the mode where that's 3, that's 4. So this is the temperature.
Mhm.
So for you, I would say probably a temperature of 2 is going to be fine, 2 or 3. Okay. That's going to be between like 350 degrees and 430 all the way to the top. And then this will heat up and it will vibrate when it's ready. And then it will stay on for about 8 minutes. Okay.
Oh, it'll vibrate when it's
When it's ready, so it's hot.
So you haven't put them.
No, I have
Okay.
not put the pot in the base. There's a bottom little dial that I think you don't really need to worry about. It affects how much airflow is coming through the chamber.
Okay, so you turn it 5 times on,
Yes.
click it on,
Uh-huh.
and then you push the button to cook it.
Nope. There is no. With this, once it's on, it's
It's gonna
cooking.
cooking. Oh,
It's cooking
okay.
the weed in the oven.
You don't have to push the button until
You
you're
don't have to push the button until you want to turn it off 5 times. Okay. You're only turning the temperature up and down on this one because you want. So now let's show you where to put the flower. So all you do is you just push it open like that.
Mhm.
And then there's a little chamber in the bottom. You see that little chamber?
Yes.
That's, you put your weed in there. Okay. Now there's a couple of options to put the flower in there. This is a little stir stick. It's an extra stir stick because inside the top of the Da Vinci,
Oh.
they have a stir stick already. Because when you use these,
You're gonna have to take it out.
well, you kind of have to clean it out. So
Yeah,
you
yeah.
kind of have to dump it on
Yeah.
the lawn, you know? You know what I mean? On the lawn. You can save it, but don't worry about that right now. You can save the old vape grindings and make them into oil, but you know, it's not worth it right now. We just want to keep things simple, okay? Keep it simple. Because this is already as complicated, I'm sure, when you're looking at this as it possibly can be. So let me put this back together. Okay, so that's an extra stir stick. And it comes also with these little ceramic, this ceramic container. So if you want to, I think your fingers would have a hard time with this. So I don't know that this is going to be perfect for you, but you can try it. You can put the flour, you can grind the flour and you can put it in there. And then you can put this on like that. And it's a little container. It's a teeny tiny little container of weed. And then you drop that inside.
Oh.
So some people really don't want to put weed in there because it kind of gets it dirty.
Yeah.
And so they really want to keep it clean. I don't care. You can clean this out with alcohol and it's fine. But you can use it that. And if you're concerned about dosing and how much weed you're putting in there, then you can use this little thing. Oh shit, that thing is hotter than mother. Whew, careful. Yeah, that oven is.
I'll touch it. My hands.
That's so stupid. That's so funny.
That's not funny. Are you
So
okay?
that's ceramic, so it won't give off any taste. So the taste of the weed still stays. Oh, you're home teachers.
No. It's my delivery.
Oh, it's Amazon. Yes. Okay, so open that and smell it.
Oh, it's gonna smell gross. Oh.
Yeah, that's. Yeah. Okay, that smells exactly like weed, right there. Exactly.
That's very strong.
It is. So this is pretty strong. This is totally organic, totally pesticide free. including natural pesticides that they use, like essential oils and stuff. Because I think for you, where you're immunocompromised, you really want to reduce the number of things that you put in your lungs that are contaminants, right? So clean things really important for somebody like you, for everybody, but somebody like you. So you put that's a bud, that's a nug, okay? And you're just going to press that into the grinder so it sticks.
Okay.
Now you can watch YouTube to figure out how to do this, but then you're going to take the top of the grinder, and I've got you a baby grinder, and you put that down, and then you just twist this like this back and forth. There's the sound of it. And then you tap it for good luck.
Tap, tap.
You got to tap it for good luck. I always tap it. I always tap the grinder for good luck. It's the thing. Yeah, it's the grinder. You put the nug of weed in there. Whoopsie, making a mess. You put the nug and then you grind it. And then you open up the second chamber. And that's where the grindings are.
So easy.
Isn't that weird? So this is essentially an herb grinder, right? That you've used for weed, but it's an aluminum herb grinder. Now,
Handy with HelloFresh.
when you get your time and you're doing, so at the bottom there's a little container. There's a little a little spatula.
Mm-hmm.
And people this is where what falls in there is called keef. You don't need to write this down. It's called keef. It's just the trichomes kind of fall down in there, and it's really potent down in there. And some people smoke enough weed that they actually accumulate a lot of keef, and then they'll use it in their joints or in their flower as kind of like a boost. It's like an octane booster. You will never need to worry about keef. Okay. And I think most people need to just forget about it as a thing. They just need to get over it. But that's my personal opinion. Thank you very much. Okay. So you're going to open this up. Okay. Now everybody kind of learns how to do this in a certain way, but you see, I put my thumb right there, and then I hold this like so between my thumb and my third finger. And then I tip it, and I use my finger to fill that. And then to fill that Da Vinci on the bottom. And then I tap the Da Vinci with my finger because the Da Vinci is shaped kind of like a funnel.
Oh, yeah.
So everything kind of falls in there. And you just fill it up to the white line. See that white line inside? I just fill it up to about the white line loose. Now this, there's a round nubbin on the end of the Da Vinci. That heats up as well. So you're getting heat from both ends. And then you'll just close that like a magnet, and now it's loaded up, ready to go.
And then you click 5 times.
And it will heat up.
And then
when it vibrates, we're going to do the same thing with this as we did with the vaporizer pen, the battery, right? We're going to just inhale it, and we're going to exhale it. Okay, that is how to use flour. I'm going to put this in the little thing. And I'm going to tell you the reasons why people choose flour over the oil. The flour is the natural plant. So a lot of people really like the natural thing.
Mm-hmm.
Flour, the sensation's different. It's called the entourage effect. It's going to be more like, to me, it's the difference between eating canned tomato sauce and an heirloom fresh ripe tomato from the vine. Flour tends to be a little bit more rich experience, whereas the vaporized oil tends to be a little more grocery store, convenience store experience. For when you build up tolerance and you start enjoying this, okay, and the smell becomes not so gross. Flour will last longer too. It will last 3 to 4 hours. The effects will last 3 to 4 hours. And it is much more mild. Okay. This is 20%. The flour is 20% THC in here. But the vaporized cartridge is 77% THC. So the same inhalation is much more powerful with the oil. It's 3 times more powerful than the inhalation with the flower
So if you
for the same amount of product.
heat that up and smoke it, then that is just done.
Then it looks like coffee grounds.
But can you heat it back up and do it in a
You can use this, like for somebody like you could get at least 2 to 3 sessions out of one loaded Da Vinci. 2 to 3 sessions. For somebody like me with a small amount like there, I would use it up all in one. You might use it up all in one, right? Because you're going to inhale, Michelle, you're going to inhale, 3 or 4 times with this and be totally fine. Maybe even 2 times and be totally good. I'm going to burn it down, right? I'm going to use up the whole thing. Because when I hurt my back, I wanted 50 milligrams of THC inhaled, and you want 5, right?
Yeah.
There is an app you can connect the Da Vinci to your phone, but I don't really think that's important right now. That will tell you exactly how many milligrams you're inhaling.
Oh, really?
It's really cool. So that when you kind of want to dial it in, then you can say, that's how I know I had a product that was 27% THC. You put that in your phone. Then as you inhale, it tells you, okay, you're at 8 milligrams. Okay, you're at 16. Okay, you're at about 20. Okay, you're jacking it up. Okay, you're 48. Okay, watch out. You're going to, mayday, mayday, you're going to get too high.
So that's really good, because then if you're thinking one time,
Well, then you could look at your phone and you could say, oh yeah, that session I was like 30 milligrams or I was 10 milligrams.
Oh, no.
So that is flour, okay? This is really why this bag is so nice, because this bag will take all of that smell and keep it inside. Okay?
there's also the toilet paper roll with the fountain. So if you
And then there's still this grinder is so little that there's still always going to be a little bit of grindings in there. And it's not that big of a deal. You can just dump them out somewhere. But you can store it in there. You want to grind about as much as you want to use, or within a few days. Because it'll dry out in here and then it'll become a little bit more harsh. Okay, so that can all just stay right there. Okay, I think the important things seem to be the gummies, the tinctures, and then this vape cartridge, because you can layer the microdosing of the gummies with the inhaled method on top, and you can just kind of try it.
And notes in here.
And you can put your notes in there. Now, I don't know where you want to put all this gear. I'll put this Da Vinci thing here. So what do you think about all this?
No, I think it's going to help.